After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
In August of 2017, extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches.
What's going on, guys? I'm Blade Phoenix here, and this time I'm giving my take on the clown show, also known as Night 1 of the DNC. Now, the cool part is CNN actually started off with a truth bomb before the convention even started. Take a look at this.
David Chalian, President Biden dropped out of the race a month and a day ago. You wouldn't know that if you read the Democratic platform because it repeatedly refers to President Biden's second term. There are roughly 19 or 20 mentions of President Biden's second term. They've had a month and a day to update it. Why haven't they?
Yeah, there won't be one of those, Biden's second term. We know that. And, listen, the platform was largely the draft of it put in place and voted on earlier this summer. And I think in talking to some folks, the idea of reopening the platform to try to fit in not yet fully developed Kamala Harris policies while they were quickly changing, they thought they would be opening a can of worms, right? And that there would be all of a sudden some fights about what goes in the platform, and they wanted to avoid that at all costs. So they're willing to take the hit on the fact that the platform is sort of a relic of the Biden era because it's a non-binding thing. They'll vote officially today as part of the party business to put it into effect. But as you know, it has no binding capacity to it.
Right. And we should note that this also allows Vice President Harris to stay vague, stay, unspecific. That's from the Biden platform. That's not ours.
Now, as you've seen there, they're admitting to the American public that so far Kamala's campaign is absolutely vague. I mean, she's only touched on one specific policy that, if you really look at it, makes absolutely no sense as far as her stance on the current housing crisis. Now, this topic was brought up with Charlie Kirk when he was interviewing the Young Turks.
Really, really interesting dynamic.
The BlackRock thing, I agree with. Blackstone or BlackRock?
Both.
There's two. Yeah. Should not be able to buy single-family homes. At least.
Oh, good. That's great agreement.
I've said it. Repeated. Same with foreign countries coming in and purchasing.
Oh, here. Okay.
You have a country of ownership, not rentering. As far as the $25,000 per home, not a great idea. That will only boost the price of homes.
I agree with you on that.
It's not a great idea.
We need more inventory.
Yes, we need more inventory. So you have to deregulate. You also have to lower the price of energy, which brings up the price of everything. And you guys aren't going to like that, but that includes drill, baby, drill, and bringing down the price of oil and natural gas during this window where we want to try to have a housing boom.
I think we need more nuclear energy.
I agree. Nuclear's a great.
We're already number one in energy
top
production.
Energy producers, but we're also the top energy exporters,
which
is a problem.
Well, I think we should continue to be an energy exporter. The price of oil is still too high for too many people. We should get back down to $40, $50 a barrel, which, by the way, if you want to stick it to the oil and gas industry, bring the price of oil down. Their margins go down significantly. Secondly,
Charlie Kirk said it the best: drill, baby, drill. Now, of course, they probably deep down in their heart didn't want to hear that, because we know most people on the left, they have an ideology that in the next 2 to 5 years, we won't have a planet. Now, they do reset the clock on these predictions ever so often, with Kamala throwing out these wild, childish wish list solutions. It's kind of hard to think party first when you're confronted with the truth on these so-called policies. But look at the bright side. At least we got to see Kamala's proud black family. So after the left showed us the way on how to tone down the rhetoric, that's sarcasm, by the way, but in classic form, we get the angry Joe Biden, the fingers pointing, yelling at the top of his lungs. Classic Joe. Gonna miss him.
Kamala and I are committed to strengthening legal immigration, including the IBW installing 500,000 charging stations all across America. Firing, end this war. Those protesters out in the street, they have a point. A lot of innocent people are being killed on both sides. The president was asked what he thought had happened. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant.
Excuse me, they didn't put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists.
Now that's the Joe we know, the one that's going to stick to the lies and be a good boy for the left and not tell his true feelings, that he's upset that his own party got rid of him when he showed weakness.
You know what?
Have you talked to him? Is my only
what I have to do.
Right.
He made the decision for the country. My concern was not about the president, it was about his campaign.
Not to mention, these people really did him dirty. First they used him till they couldn't use him no more. Then they got rid of him. And then they made him speak an hour later than he was supposed to. Now, under all of that, the credit I will give the Democrats is they did look unified. And this should be a wake-up call to the right that we have to be very careful about the people we vote in. Like, will they throw a tantrum when unity is needed at the moment? Do right and deal with the problems they have with each other later. On the other hand, I don't think that this is easily in the bag for the Democratic ticket. I mean, there are people out there who do remember the same language that they were talking before the election.
Tell me what's going on with the migrant crisis here in Chicago. So I will tell you right now, I'm a person that lives on the south side of Chicago, and the migrants that have come in, at one point, they were coming in, and we were feeling very sorry for them because they came in at a time where the weather was cold. So we're seeing all these people in tents and all this and that. But then we find out that they're getting $15,000 in food stamps, $5,000 in cash. I work for a company, which I will not say, that they're able to come in and they're able to get internet and Wi-Fi and all of this for free because guess what? The government are paying their rent for 2 years. Why is the government paying people that came from another country rent for 2 years? Can we explain that? Because it's a housing crisis right now where multiple homeless people on the streets right now that I could follow and show you homeless people that's been living on the streets. So what makes the migrants better from coming to another country that they get all of this? You know why? I'm going to say why. Because we're about to have another presidential election. So if we make these migrants Democratic and we give them the right to vote and we give them all of these things, they're going to vote and then boom. I'm a Trump supporter, by the way.
Just to run contrast between a Trump voter and a Kamala voter, you'll hear the complete opposite from the two. I mean, just a moment ago, you heard Joe Biden basically say him and Kamala are for illegal immigration, are looking to strengthen it.
I have my choice. In my perfect world, every Republican is out of the country and all the immigrants come in. That's what I want. It's never going to happen. That's what I want.
But we're all immigrants. We all came from somewhere else.
Right. So.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but night 2 of the DNC. Looking forward to see what's next. I'm Blade Phoenix. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Over and out.
See the colors waving high.